How's it going, everyone? My name is Doug. I'm making a video series about my 2000 2.5rs. Her name is Suzie. We're doing a right-hand drive conversion, rust repair, as well as EJ 205 turbo swap, all Japanese spec, of course. Also going to be a 22b wide body kit on it. So basically making it a video series, that way I can get some information if needed. People can help me out. I know the Subaru communities helped me out in the past, and these videos are just an easier way of getting people to respond, because whether it's talking crap or genuine response, either way it's informational and I appreciate it. So I'm just going to walk you through my garage, what we have for Suzie, and the things that we plan on doing for the car. There will be more frequent videos coming up. Currently doing some work on the donor car and getting Suzie prepped for whatever we need to do next. So stick around and enjoy the video. So this is the car that we're building. This is a 2000 Subaru 2.5rs Coupe. It does have the sunroof, which will need some rust repairs. I've already accomplished the right-hand drive swap on it. I've gotten everything welded in place, as well as the brake booster and clutch master cylinder both in place. I'm going to need to run brake lines for the front. The rear are actually both for the left hand and right hand. They're both mirror each other. I've got most of the wiring harness in place. I am missing a couple bits of it. The part that plugs into the gauge cluster for some reason is missing, so I might have accidentally got rid of it before I left Japan, so that's going to be a pain in the butt to find. But as you can see, this chassis is rusted. It is bad. The floorboards are, you can't trust these floorboards. It's as simple as that. I already put my hand through on certain parts. The rear half of the car isn't much better. If you can see under here, the frame rails under here are pretty beat. So I went out and bought myself a 2002 WRX wagon because it shares the same mounting holes for the subframes, and so the rear chassis is the same on both of them. And I've already cut this one out, and I'm in the process over here of taking off the skin, because the skin does not mirror both of these cars. So I'm taking off the skin on the front half of it. The back half I will be reusing, since my spare tire carrier is also rotted through. I have approximately 4 to 5 different cars invested into this one so far. I had 2 Japanese cars that I owned, both right-hand drive. Oh yeah, I got the windshield wiper for the rear installed as well. I had 2 right-hand drive Subarus while I was stationed in Japan. One was a 93 WRX, one was a 99 WRX wagon. The motor for this car is out of the 99 WRX wagon. The 93 WRX wagon I had rolled on the rally track, so it was obviously, the frame was no good. I was planning on bringing that back to the States and working on it here when it had arrived, but obviously that didn't work out. The 99 WRX wagon was rusted through in the back half. The base I was in Japan was Masala, so it was up north. It was all snowy, so rust was a very common thing. And this car was actually from up north in Illinois, where rust is also pretty common, so it's no surprise that I'm having to do rust repairs. When I had originally bought this house, it was definitely not, or when I had originally bought this car, I did not think it was this bad, but it is what it is. So we're doing some rust repairs, a little bit of everywhere, and hopefully we can get this chassis back to good shape. Here we have my motor that is going into the car. As soon as I get it all started, body all straight, I have a timing belt kit and a clutch still needed to get onto this motor, and a flywheel. But this is the original EJ 205 out of my 99 WRX wagon. It was a high revving and it ran amazing before I took it out, but right now I'm running into a problem with missing some of the wiring harness bits on this, so I don't know if it's going to be able to start right off the turnkey. The only bits I'm missing is like the body wiring harness, as well as the gauge cluster wiring harness. I guess there's a specific piece that plugs into the wiring harness on this, and then it'll be able to plug into top on here, and it's the exact same gauge cluster that came out of the 99WRX, and it's the same wiring harness. So I don't know exactly how that had happened, but I'll get it all figured out. All my parts are kind of like scattered all over the house, and I have different parts as well. No, these are not going in the Subaru. I have STI seats. This is all Fox body parts, and then come over here to my corner of the garage. It's like half Fox body, half Subaru. Everything right here is either out of the Fox body or out of the WRX wagon right over there. So I probably won't use any. I won't be using any of this. In here I have brackets and little odds and ends that I might need, might not, hanging onto them either way. And then these just have more car parts in. So right here I have the radiator, condenser, subframe bits, the right-hand drive steering rack, and the original fans. I plan on swapping out the radiator and the fans for some Mishimoto ones to get better cooling throughout the car. The subframe bits are good. I have an extra one because of the parts car, and the steering rack is going to be rebuilt. It needs to have some STI inner tie rods because it needs to be longer. I am getting STI front control arms, and I have aftermarket rear lateral links and end links as well as trailing arms so that I can keep the proportions even. That way when I go to wide body it, I don't have to run spacers or get a crazy offset wheel. Hopefully it'll all just be able to like go in on a decent offset wheel and more commonly found. That way it's not much of a struggle to get the right ride that I want and the right wheel tire combo. And I want the fit to be pristine. So if we go up to the attic, I have a bunch more parts up there as well, so I'll show you those. So here in the attic, it's a lot harder to see, but we have my STI seats right there. I have the rears hidden over there as well. I have most of the interior bits up here. That way I can keep them kind of protected. The AC system's already in it. This is the old one. I also have spare wiring harnesses. I have strut tire braces, anything else that I thought should be kept kind of like put away. I also have 2 crystal headlights, crystal fogs, a bunch of JDM specific stuff. But other than that, really nothing too special up here. I'm just trying to keep things somewhat organized. This is a bunch of Fox body bits right here, and hopefully I can get this Fox body out of here so that I can reorganize everything and make it look a lot nicer up here. So yeah, that's everything that I have for the Subaru right now. Right now I've just been working on rust repair, a bunch of tedious stuff, so I haven't really been recording much. I did have a bunch of footage about doing the right-hand drive swap and what I did in order to do it, but it got lost somewhere. I think I lost one of my SD cards in the move because this is the third time I've moved in a year. So I've also have a couple parts that I'm missing. It's somewhere in this mess, but as soon as I get everybody else's cars out of here and it's just me and my cars, I'll be able to organize, lay everything out, and know exactly what I'm dealing with. As of right now, what I need is to get the rear backing plates from a 2007, 2006 WRX. That way I can fit my 2-pots. Yes, I got some Japanese 4-pot, 2-pot brakes, calipers. I need to get that set up for the rear. I need to finish the rust repairs, and I need to find some better coilovers or struts. The struts that came off of the 02 WRX are in really great shape, and they have lower springs on them already. I just got to get top hats for the rear. And I have a set of eBay coilovers that I was debating on throwing on as rollers, and I still need to get wheels and tires. I'm going to be compiling a list. That way I can really start pricing everything out and knowing what I need to focus on. Right now I know what I need is to get this rust repair done. That way I can get everything put back in, and I can get more focused on the reassembly instead of the disassembly. I've been treating rust, removing rust. The hardest part right now that I'm going to have to deal with is the sunroof. I know sunroof Imprezas are known for rusting, especially since this car came from up north. It came from Illinois. we're in Florida currently. That's why it's so sunny, and it's really humid and hot. So try not to stay out here too much. And that's another hurdle we have to get over. Is I love working, but you can only work so long before you start overheating. So yeah, you guys will be seeing me working a lot more. I'm gonna be putting up time lapses of the things I do, the process of me doing them. I've done tons of research. I don't jump into something without seeing if somebody else has done it. The only thing that I haven't seen anybody do or found a forum post about is the rear channel chassis. When I took off the rear subframe from this car originally, it had broken 2 bolts, so that needed to be fixed. When I went to fix it, I found that it wasn't worth fixing. The rest was too bad, so I just decided to go ahead and remove it all, put fresh metal under there. That way we can ensure that we won't run into this problem again. So thanks for coming along. This is kind of like my intro tour. I'll be posting more videos, and hopefully that I'll be able to get more answers as well. Thanks.